in Christ's person? Well, yes and no. I mean, if you just want to say who's acting in Christ's person, the baptized. The baptized act in the person of Christ. What do ministers receive, priests who receive ministerial priesthood? To act as Christ in the person of Christ, the head. And you always have to add the head, because that's the distinction between ministerial priesthood and baptismal priesthood. No, I don't have to come to that one. Frankly, the only thing I believe is necessary for the church to exist is faith. No, baptism. Of course, you're not going to have baptism if people don't have faith. So certainly you need faith, but you need baptism. Because the church isn't just ideas, and it's not just our actions. Even if you say, well, faith is also us acting on our ideas, that's a better understanding of faith. But the idea of baptism is that now you can actually act in the person of Christ. If you are baptized, it is not just you that are acting, Christ is acting through you. That is an incredible thing, an incredible thing. So it's not something we can do even, right? So it's not just faith, oh, I read the Bible and I believe, and so now I'll act on it. Good, great. Wish everybody would do that. But also, we want Christ acting through people, not people just following the example of Christ. Baptism allows for that to happen. No one can make that happen on their own. That makes sense, right? But of course, this is true. Finally, because of faith, we have the common priesthood, and it seems to me that because of the existence of a common priesthood, the ministerial priesthood came to be. Yes, of course. Excellent. If we take God at His word that the gates of hell will not prevail against the church, then the church will continue to exist. It exists in the light of day and underground where there are no ministerial priests. Well, or maybe we believe, I think we do, that the promise that the church will always exist means that God will always provide so that it does. So we'll always provide ministers so that it can continue to exist. So it's not, you see, that's turning the question around. And then this brilliant one, and well said. It occurred to me that actually it is more true that since the ministerial or hierarchical priesthood is in service of the common priesthood, that actually the common priesthood is what the church needs to exist, and a ministerial priesthood is subservient to that priesthood of the entire people of God. Exactly. Of course, the people of God need that service, so God will keep providing it. But it all starts with, and the point is of the church, is what the common priesthood provides, acting in the person of Christ. Without a common priesthood, there would be no one or nothing to serve. Exactly. Again, we have some comments here about, by ordination one is enabled to act as a representative of Christ. Well, baptism. Oh, but representative of Christ, head of the church. Ah, that's it. But we're all called to be, all the baptized are called to be acting in the person of Christ, priest, prophet, and king. Just not as Christ the head. There's some other problematic stuff in this one, but it's a little too technical, perhaps. And again, sometimes in the Catechism it talks about the priest acting in the person of Christ and doesn't put Christ the head. But that doesn't give away the essential, that's what the essential distinction is. So in the fourth one, I will say something about my theology of religious life that might help us out as we start this.